This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
Welcome back, everybody, to our Caravan of Garbage episodes, specifically about the first 3 Fast and Furious films.
First trilogy in the Fast Saga. I said that like David Attenborough. The first trilogy in the Fast Saga.
He's still with us.
Yeah, that's right.
I love that. He's 95 at the time of recording.
Wow. And he took the time to come and do that. Anyway, this is Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
This is a real odd duck of a movie, I reckon.
I've written here, it's a real odd duck of a movie.
And yet, there are no ducks to be found.
Not a single one.
Doesn't that make it the oddest duck there is?
And it's weird because it spans continents and you'd think you'd see at least one duck on your travels.
Maybe flying south for the winter.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What is also interesting about this movie, despite it being the third, it takes place in 2013 because, of course, it is a prequel to whatever the one is where Han dies.
5 or
Maybe!
6? Yep, it's not 7. I know it's not 7. That's all I know.
I have some questions about this being the year 2013. First of all, I don't think when they made this, it was supposed to be the year 2013.
Oh, no, absolutely not, because it was 2006, right?
That's something like that, yeah.
And this happened, of course, because the filmmakers didn't know, the producers didn't know who was willing to come back from the previous movie. So they're like, let's just make it another thing.
Oh, I've got all sorts of things to say about that, Mason.
Okay.
But what I love about the year 2013 in this universe is the cell phones are just as ancient as you've ever seen.
Well, I've written here, James, imagine if you dug up a landfill from the year 2006/2013. Imagine how many Motorola flip phones you would find. And imagine how much blurry 640 by 480 footage of drifting races you would see on them that have never been viewed by a human eye. Because they would have just filmed it once and been like, I'll watch that back later. Yeah. No, you wouldn't. You can't see it.
You never do.
Doesn't look like anything.
So many iPods of the era. This was even before the iPad. And also, Lil Bow Wow, who makes an appearance in this, is like, check out this brand new Jordan. It's not even out yet. That's a 2006 shoe. I know, because I looked it up, Mason.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, it's a real odd duck of a movie.
It really is. Some real anachronisms in this movie that's about time travel when you think about it.
That being said, I think this is the best of the first 3 and one of the better ones in general.
Well, here's what I think. I think this is a very well-made, like very well-directed, very well-produced movie about a bunch of characters I do not care about in the slightest. Like, I don't know the main guy's name.
Lucas Black. That's his real name.
Yeah. But I do not know the character's name.
Steve Dawson.
I know that it was yelled at the end of the movie, but it's been like over an hour since I watched it, so I've forgotten it since then. All I know is this is a...
You did it, Brett Henley?
Oh, Brett Henley's good. That's all right. But not a Henley to be seen. I don't care about any of these guys. Maybe Han, but that's only retroactively because he's been in he's been in a previous movie and he's been in subsequent Fast and Furious movies.
I think he's a massive highlight of this movie, and I just want to mention as well, Han is brought over from Justin Lin's first movie, Better Luck Tomorrow, which is technically set in the Fast and Furious verse.
But again, retroactively.
Retroactively,
right?
yeah. Apparently, though, Justin Lin came on board for this, who, by the way, has directed a bunch of other Fast and Furious movies. Hang on, I gotta let that dog out. Just scratching up a bloody storm out there.
Yes. You're free to come back in 2 minutes.
Yeah, he was brought on to direct this third one, which went through a number of changes. And the early drafts of the script, he said, I think it's offensive and dated, and I don't have any intention of doing it. But then it was agreed that he could shape the movie like as he saw fit. And it became this.
Right.
But you mentioned that there are no returning characters, and Paul Walker apparently wasn't asked at all because the studio felt he was too old. So they got Lucas Black, teenage man.
He's a real man in his 20s who looks like he's in his 30s. He's going to school. He's going to high school, this guy.
He doesn't make a very convincing high school student, but he makes a wonderful Japanese high school boy, doesn't he? In his little uniform.
If they didn't say he was 17 in this, I'd be like, did they keep him down a bunch of years?
Yeah.
With his troublemaking, I wonder.
Absolutely.
But obviously in this, he starts out life in America.
Yep.
But then he gets into an illegal street race with a big high school bully who
with Home Improvement's own Zachary Ty Bryan.
Oh, he's got a real big head but a real small face. He looks like a Dick Tracy villain, this guy. That's all I'm saying.
He's 25.
Huh.
Also, at the time of.
Kept down for bad behavior. kept down for being too rich.
We're gonna keep you down until your face grows into your big head. We're not sending you out to the world.
That's right.
Look, I have the same problem.
Yeah,
But
I know. Yeah. But then he just drives badly through a bunch of houses.
Yep.
And he gets expelled to Japan.
But he wants to impress a girl who's like, if you win this race, you get me. Have some respect for yourself. You're worth more than either of these two grown men.
Right?
What's going on here?
It's weird stuff.
Yeah. Weird stuff.
Then
Yeah.
he gets to Japan and he's taken under the wing of Han, legendary Fast and Furious character Han, who sees the potential in a guy who's bad at everything. He's bad at fighting. He doesn't speak Japanese. He's bad at driving. He's so bad at driving.
He's so bad at driving.
He's one of the worst at drive. He's the worst driver in the Fast and Furious franchise / saga so far. And it takes him an entire movie to get better.
Yeah, do you think what about Tyrese?
No, he was all right in the last one. He
lost
gets worse.
He lost that race though, didn't he?
No, he did. He did.
Yeah, but no,
he
he
didn't destroy
multiple cars.
his car, other people's cars, walls, people's livelihoods, fruit stands. I don't know.
I will say this about Japan, though. There is something cooler about car nerds in Japan. I don't know what it is.
You think so?
I know I've been railing against car nerds these last couple of weeks, and I will not retract that.
Whoa.
And I'm not going to say another bloody word about it.
Okay.
But I'm not a fan. But I think there is something really cool about, this Japanese school that has amazing uniforms and food, and Lil Bow Wow is there for some reason. Who, by the way...
every Japanese school has Lil Bow Wow.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they do. So it's not that special.
I know this joke has been done before, but... when does he become regular-sized Bow Wow? What era is that? I mean, it's obviously after this.
Yeah.
And it's after Like Mike, which was the movie before this.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, also, here's something fascinating.
Go
Here's
on.
something interesting.
Go on.
At 3025 in the movie...
Not the year 3025, but the year this movie is set.
That's what it's set, yeah. And it's a prequel.
Whoa.
But there's a moment where Lil Bow Wow is in an elevator, and just as the doors are shutting, he looks at the camera and he winks, which means Lil Bow Wow knows he's in a movie.
Oh my God.
And he might be the only one in these movies that knows he's in a movie.
You think he should get the word out?
I think he's the watcher. That's what I think.
Maybe, but I mean, he's a viable character to bring back.
Yeah.
Also, if we're building a list of characters that should come back in sequels and be
Here
the
we go.
villain, Lil Bow Wow.
Yep.
The big head, small face. He should come back as a villain. Who's left?
Any of the women, I guess, who are in this?
Any of the women.
I don't know anyone's names.
Yeah, no, neither do I. Yeah, that's fair. But what about Lucas Black's nemesis in this movie, Takeshi, the Drift King of Tokyo?
Oh, yeah.
Small-time gangster. Big-time pedophile.
What?
His girlfriend's in high school.
Oh, I thought you meant in real life.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, she's still in high school.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's weird.
Was that?
Oh, she's actually really mature for age. Shut up.
No, there's something wrong with you.
If your girlfriend still has to ask permission to go to the bathroom, too young.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But no, I think the biggest inclusion and the best inclusion of this movie you touched upon is Han, and I don't think it's just that he's a recurring character.
He's got the most charisma.
He's just got a lot of charisma. He's eating snacks and watching a drift.
That's right.
He's just having a good time.
Yeah.
But and what I also like is he gets murdered in this for stealing. And when they show up and be like, "You've been stealing from me," it's not like, "No, I would never." He's just like, "I did."
I mean, I've got to feed this snack addiction. Eating all these snacks.
But you're a pedophile also.
Yeah, right?
So, who's the real villain here? But we of course know that it was Jason Statham who killed Han.
That's right.
Well, killed Han.
Jason Statham.
How, I mean, I know we're going to see it in the upcoming movie, but how did he get out of that? There is no time for him to crawl out of that wreckage.
Manhole cover? I reckon manhole
Does he have
cover.
the Nick Fury laser?
He's got the laser that cut through the ground. Yeah,
Okay,
I think
fair
so,
enough.
yeah.
I do have a couple of things I want to mention about Japan that I love in this movie.
All right.
I like because it's such a built-up urban environment. Just a lot of the races just take place in a car park, just drifting up and down. I think that's really cool and inventive and not something we'd seen in this franchise before.
I thought it was fascinating that they went, hey, you know what? In Japan, the police just don't chase street races.
That was my second thing,
They're just like, no, just let them go.
So if you're doing faster than 180, they don't bother. Is that true? I need to know.
Yeah.
Presumably it isn't, but also they don't want to call ahead and be like, there's a guy coming down the road, put up a roadblock or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We remembered there's more of us.
There's more
I
than
should
one.
call one of the other ones.
Exactly, yeah.
But I mean, and that's interesting, but also kind of takes some of the tension out of the street races if there's no chance the cops are going to come, you know what I mean?
That is true. That's a big part of those previous movies. Paul Walker will have to run away or whatever, doesn't he?
That's right.
He's always running away. Not because he's a coward, just because
No.
the police are, they can chase you if you're going
And
fast
then
on
he
180.
stashes the car, and then he's just like, hey, I'm just a regular jogger. I'm just jogging in my jeans. I'm just jogging in my jeans and my singlet. Here we are.
Some people jog in jeans.
Yeah.
Don't do it, though. Don't do it. Here's a question for you, though.
Go on.
What are your thoughts on the cars in this
Mm-hmm.
and also the drifting? Do you think it is enough of an element in this movie that it makes it unique and special?
I mean, there are some kind of fun drifting shots.
I think so,
like
too.
there's one where...
It's all about drifting.
It's all about drifting. There's one where Takeshi drifts diagonally up like a circular...
Yeah.
Like a... I was going to say staircase. That's not correct. But like a...
That doesn't sound right, no.
But they can do it. They're just
Maybe.
that good. I mean, my favorite part of this is when they're like, this guy is, you got to watch out for the DK. And the guy's like, Donkey Kong? And I'm like, drifting's just a Mario Kart power slide, right? I mean, if you know Donkey Kong, you figure this out pretty fast. You just hold R and you turn in a direction. And
That's true.
Yeah.
It's my favorite maneuver. But I think there is something about the precision of the driving and the drifting in this, which does set it apart. And also some of the last movie.
Except for any of Lucas Black's driving, which is atrocious.
But I also like that, because that would be me, just hitting walls. Just a grown man hitting walls,
Yeah.
Yeah. But just when you see two cars, like real cars,
Yeah.
drifting up a set of stairs, as you
Yeah.
mentioned, that was what you think.
That's right.
I think that's incredible, genuinely.
Maybe I'm biased against it just because it was literally inescapable for a couple of years in this era.
That's true.
Like
yeah.
everybody we know
You mean
is-
2013?
Yeah, in the year 2013, everybody was drifting and talking about drifting. Drifting magazine. Drift on in your Motorola.
Yeah.
Power
Exactly.
slide, Mario Kart.
Drifting with, you get your high school girlfriend in the back. She's
Yeah.
in a booster seat.
That's right.
But I think also it then does progress really interestingly and well. And, the story of crime and Lucas Black's father and all those things that are happening. And it culminates in American muscle versus Japanese.
I have a note here. It says, the first time in the Fast and Furious franchise that there's a car that I would drive without feeling embarrassed.
What about the one that goes to space?
Oh, no, that hasn't happened yet, but
True.
yeah.
You'd be screaming, though.
I would absolutely be screaming.
But no, I think that final race
Uh-huh.
down that mountain,
Yes.
it takes it out of the, out of the urban environment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this well-known drifting,
Yeah.
it's where drifting was born,
That's
Mason.
right, yeah.
I think it's really
It's the
terrific.
spiritual birthplace of the drift.
Yeah, and it ends in a massive car crash, which we love.
It's a good-looking car crash,
It's a great looking car crash. Do you think, though, this movie would have benefited from some original Fast and Furious characters? Do you think he would have got into it more?
Oh, good question. I didn't like Lucas Black's character at all. And not for me. But I mean, what are you going to do? Put Paul Walker in high school?
Yeah. They're
Nice.
probably the same age.
He could go undercover, I forgot. He used to be an undercover cop. He could go undercover in high school.
That's
That would've been so
exactly
easy.
right. He could do it too.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely know.
I mean, that said, obviously we do get one Fast and Furious character return at the end.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk about this.
Yeah.
I was going to put this in this segment of the show called Fast and Furious Tokyo Drivia.
Nice.
Thank you. So after poor test screenings, Universal Pictures asked Vin Diesel to make a cameo appearance to boost its box office potential.
And he said, is this something Francis Ford Coppola would do? And they said yes. And he said, I'll do it.
I'll do it then. Diesel agreed to appear if Universal would relinquish the rights to the Riddick franchise, and Diesel was able to make Riddick in 2013 independently.
He got a whole movie out of appearing in one scene in this movie. That's
It's the
amazing.
Riddick franchise.
I mean, sure, yeah.
I like the Riddick franchise.
I also like
But
it
it's
too.
not worth anything, is it?
No.
Just make a cameo.
It's worth a lot in my heart.
Yeah.
But financially, it's worth nothing.
Agreed. But I think also...
It's worth a lot to Judi Dench.
Probably. But I think also that the inclusion of him in this, was it in the marketing? I don't remember it being.
I couldn't tell you for
I don't
$1,000.
think...
I couldn't tell you for the price of the Riddick franchise.
Yeah. If you hate this franchise or this movie,
Yeah.
this isn't going to sell you on it, is it? Like he turns up at the very end and you sort of see a little race at the end.
You could watch another movie in theaters and then sneak into the Tokyo Drift Theater and just watch the last 5 minutes.
That's true, exactly. But no, I do think it's a good appearance. But you know what else I think? It would have been interesting if this was maybe a more Vin Diesel focused sequel, and then you get the Paul Walker film, the Vin Diesel film, and then you bring them back together.
Right.
It would have made a lot more money because this is the lowest grossing film in the franchise by far.
Oh.
Which is why they went, this isn't going to work unless we bring back the originals.
People just, James, wait for this.
Yeah.
You ready for this? I just thought of this.
I'm ready.
People, James, they were just, wait, James, they were just drifting past the box office. They were drifting past it. They were going in to purchase tickets to the movie. They were drifting past in their Japanese cars.
I think though, maybe it didn't make a lot of money because it was set in 2013 and it was ahead of its time.
Maybe.
People weren't ready for it.
They weren't ready for it. They were like, I don't want to know what kind of Motorola flip phones I'll be using in 2013. I daren't go in to see my future and my own fate.
Of the Furious.
Of the Furious.
One more bit of trivia, sorry. This is from the director. I wanted to shoot an Shibuya. I'm sorry, I pronounced that wrong. Have I?
No, that's pretty close.
I've done it. Which is the most crowded place in Tokyo. The cops, they're all so polite. So it takes 10 minutes for them to come over and kick you out. But it was unknown to Lin that the studio had actually hired a fall guy who stepped in when the police came and said, I'm the director. So he would be arrested and spend the night in jail so Justin Lin could continue to film the movie.
Whoa.
That's Fast and Furious maybe, isn't it?
Also, maybe Justin Lin didn't know that there's actually a fake Shibuya street. You can hire it. It's like $8,000 a day.
Oh.
And you just hire it and it looks like Shibuya.
Really?
And you can just drift cars through it all day.
That's not
Maybe that's new.
That's not fun though, is it?
No, it's not fun. You want to nearly kill a lot of real people.
That's it. Anyway, genuinely, I think this is the best of the first three. And I also think that maybe they should have marketed this more as a spin-off, you know? Because it is, really.
Yeah,
it's not a
right.
mainline movie.
No.
But I think that's also what works about it. It's its own universe. It's got very compelling character.
Yeah.
Who dies.
It's got very compelling character. Very, very good.
But, you know, there's a lot about this which I think... I don't know. I just think it's really good and earnest, and I think it's pretty well acted for the most part.
Yeah.
And there's just something about it I really like. And maybe it's also because we're not coming back to these for a while, so I could be like, all right, pretty good, we're done.
Well, if we're not coming back to these for a while, I'm going to say currently my favourite is 2 because of the time that Paul Walker and Tyrese just beat that guy up and then spat on him. I thought that was funny. It's a funny bit in the movie.
That was a funny bit. Anyways, this has been the Fast and Furious trilogy for Caravan of Garbage. When the next movies roll around, we will come back. But maybe you want to see these videos early in general. Is that you, Mason?
Yes.
Then you should go to bigsandwich.co, sign up. It's like a Patreon tier. It's only $9 a month. There's a huge back catalogue in addition to early videos, including movie commentaries, including bonus podcasts, including our podcast, A Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. That actually comes out there a day early. And of course, this upcoming episode, we are going to be talking about the new Fast and Furious movie, whatever it's called or is about.
F9. Press F9 to go to space. Look out.
Look out. It's ludicrous. What's he doing?
Tyrese never thought he'd be going to space. The character from 2 was not expecting to go to space. He's not prepared for it emotionally.
No, he's barely even the same character.
He's a different guy.
In a lot of ways. But here's a hint towards next week. Oh my God, what is it, Mason?
I can't.
Are we doing Iron Man movies?
Oh, we can do Iron Man movies. Yeah,
We might do,
we can do some Iron Man movies.
Wow, finally some MCU stuff. People are like, why aren't you doing more MCU stuff? People
We're
are saying.
starved for MCU content, people say. It's a desert of MCU content.
I
say,
agree.
you know.
We're breaking the drought. Anyways, thanks for watching these. We really appreciate it. It's been fun, if I'm honest.
I've also had a lot of fun.
All right, let's get out of here, Mason.
All right.
And do a different thing.
We can drift? We can go outside and we can drift.
Get your flip phone. Let's do it.
All right, grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Drift you later.
Drift you later. That's good.
Yeah, all right.
I was going to say smell you later. That doesn't work at all. Smell you later.
Smell you later, folks.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
I mean, if you want. It's up to you.